Zapraszam na prezentację rozgrywki w Hogwarts Legacy. No, spełnienie marzeń dla fanów zdecydowanie. Premiera już 10 lutego.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first Hogwarts Legacy gameplay stream. I'm Chandler Wood, community manager here at Avalanche Software, and we've got a lot of really exciting stuff to show you today. But before we get into showing you the game and gameplay, I have a few wonderful guests that I need to introduce you to. First up, we have our community guest host. He brings you the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. He's the local Merlin conspiracy theorist.
Guilty as charged, yes.
One half of Expecto Go,
Yeah.
James Whitehead.
Thanks, Chandler. Yes, I'm James Whitehead of Expecto Go, bringing you guys the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. And I am one half of Expecto Go, the better half. My wife, Sue, represents that other half. So I'm excited to be here, and thank you, Avalanche Software, for inviting me. I cannot wait to go over this gameplay. I just got to say that.
Welcome, thank you for being here. And we've got two people from the studio, just two of the many people bringing this thing together, the magic of Hogwarts Legacy. Game director, Alan Tu.
Hello, everyone.
And senior environment artist and Hogwarts expert, Boston Madsen. So thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedules right now to sit down with us to help us show everybody gameplay. So what we're going to be showing you today, first, the character creator, because it's your legacy, and you have to create yourself when you get into to get into Hogwarts and bring your whole authentic self to Hogwarts. So we're going to show you that character creator. Then we're going to dive into a tour of Hogwarts, and it's just a small tour of Hogwarts, right? Because Hogwarts is huge. Hogwarts is really big. So we're going to be showing you a little bit, but it's still a lot. So, and finally, ending up with combat. A little taste of combat, a little taste of how all that works.
Let's go.
Just a little taste, yeah. So we're excited to get there. But again, first and foremost, we need to get into this character creator. And James, with you here, we wanted to let you create this character. So Andrew, who is going to be doing all of our gameplay capture today, is going to be handing you the controller.
Oh my gosh. All right, I won't break anything. All right, so what are we looking at right here on this screen?
Ale fajny plan. Teraz mamy kreator postaci, ale nie przerywam.
Choose for your character that just kind of get them into like the ballpark of what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to change.
Oh man.
And then once you're in that ballpark, all of the other tabs let you dial that in, be exactly who you want to be. It's our goal with this is to make sure that for anyone that fantasized about bringing themselves to the school for the very first time, that they feel like they have the options in order to represent who they are and essentially bring themselves to Hogwarts, or whatever character they want to bring to Hogwarts.
Oh my God, and options galore. Do you mind if I try to put myself in here right quick?
It's all about you
Okay,
today.
okay. All right. So, yeah, that's me. We're here. That's me right there. All right, so that's step one.
We're pretty close, but let's look at everything here.
Let's go over
play
here.
around with some of these options, like really.
All right, so what are we looking at with this option over here with the tab? I see face stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of the different faces that you saw in the previous screen, all those faces are choices that you have here. So you can, now you're just kind of getting into the details in your face shape, in your skin color. And then because we knew a lot of people going right in are going to want it right away, even though it's an option later in the game, you can collect different types of glasses, put them on later. We give you some options right up front if you want to have glasses for your character.
Oh man, oh my gosh, look at the structure of the faces with this. Wow, you guys thought of...
Nie, fajnie wygląda ten kreator i już wiem, kogo stworzę. Już wiem, kogo stworzę.
And down here is this...
Those are your glasses there.
Oh, so we could go Harry Potter if we want. Awesome job. Oh man. And this is just some of the options, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so through the course of the game, there's a lot.
No, to już wiem, kogo
options that
stworzę.
you'll keep unlocking.
Okay.
So as part of kind of like.
Ale jazda, mega.
There's lots of different classes. There's even masks. There's all kinds of things over the course of the game.
I like how it's all Victorian era, though.
Yeah,
like,
right up
it's very
front.
Such a
authentic.
good call. Such a good call. Oh my gosh. All right. So now, we can go fleek on this one with the hair.
Sporo.
I spend a lot of time here just like dreaming about my different characters. And what
Oh
they're gonna
my
be
gosh, the pony. The thing I'm always amazed by whenever I see any aspects of Hogwarts Legacy's character creator is just the texture. And like you even adding the bounce with the hair moving around. Yo, that kind of looks like Hermione a little bit. I'm not even gonna just like front. I'm not front.
No.
And we can just go, can I go like Tonks purple or green a little bit?
Absolutely.
Oh. Yo, this is so cool. Oh, I like that. That is cute. Oh, okay.
Nie, sporo opcji, sporo.
Little behind the scenes. I used to have this type of hair like way back, but
Or was it purple?
I wanted silver tips, so that was the closest I got to any color. But oh my gosh, this is so cool. So you literally can bring yourself. Like it's a myriad of textures and different hairstyles here. All right, so now.
Nie, no pewnie, tu spokojnie można stworzyć, kogo chcemy.
These are more subtle options. We've
Okay.
got freckles, moles, different things like when it comes to your complexion, like darker eyes, maybe like some shading on the cheeks.
Oh man.
Spoko.
Literally thought of everything with this.
I do have a bit of fun with that. And then the scars are one of those options where, Harry had his own scar, but you can come in with different
Yours.
scar options.
Yeah.
No, dla Zwola też? Okej.
Oh wow. Look at that.
Fajna.
See that?
Wiedźmina można, tą ostatnią.
Those are my favorite. The eyebrow scars.
Yeah.
Love those.
Yeah. You look kind
It's
of
a classic.
Yeah, you look kind of just like tough. But anyway. So now we're over here. Oh,
Podekscytowani, ale jak się robi tą grę, to naprawdę
this is so
jest się czym ekscytować.
Again, getting more subtle here, really like dialing in that face to really get your...
I don't know how revealing I want.
No bo takiej produkcji nie było, nie? Takiej produkcji jeszcze nie było w tym uniwersum, a fani zasługują na to. Super. Ja się jaram potężnie.
I mean, literally, you have so many options just starting the game. I feel like I'm going to be here like forever.
You and me both.
And then this final tab here, this is where you kind of bring your whole character together. This is where you finalize everything. You're not choosing your house here.
Okay.
That's not yet.
That was a theory.
But here's where you bring you choose voice 1 or voice 2, which is more kind of a masculine or a feminine voice, and then even within that, changing your pitch,
with
the pitch slider.
It's a subtle slider, but
Yeah.
but you can hear it,
Concerned about.
Mhm.
That's quite something.
and so you can kind of make out the differences. But yeah, you choose which kind of voice that you want. You'll be selecting your difficulty here. For today, we'll just go normal because Andrew's going to be taking us through some of the experiences with combat later.
And we can talk a little more about difficulty, with combat and how that plays in.
Okay,
But I
4
think
poziomy.
the important thing here is like if for people who aren't gamers, especially,
Right.
story mode is a way to get into this without being worried about like, oh, do I need to be good at games? Like, no, just enjoy this game. It's
And I will
Pewnie.
expecto and then go.
Yeah.
We're good. Awesome.
and then whether you want to be witch or wizard.
Amazing.
What'd you think, character creator? We're good.
I'm good. Let's explore
Super.
Hogwarts and let's get into some.
All right. Through the magic of using a dev kit, we're going to be loading up a save a little later in, so that we can show you more about Hogwarts and give you that taste of combat. All right, Andrew's got some gameplay pulled up for us here. We are starting out, James. There you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
Thank you. I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. dorm room.
The dorm room.
Yeah. This is awesome. But Alan,
Tak, tu mamy oczywiście
what are we seeing
Hufflepuff.
here with the UI? Because this is our first look.
Yeah. So right now we know there's been a lot of questions about the HUD because this is the first time we're showing it. So kind of going over it from right to left. On the bottom right is what we call our spell diamond. So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And that's where the player can place them and use them and access them very quickly. To the top left of that is, you'll see the D-pad, and on the left is an eyeball, and on the right is a bit of a grid. So the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that are used in very specific contexts, or that we just want on the controller at all times. And Revelo is one of those. That's left on the D-pad. On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might slot spells. And so right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu because we feel like there's a lot of spoilers there. You know, like what are all the spells and what can we do?
I would like spoilers, but I understand.
But we do want to make sure there's still some goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing and growing over the course of the game.
Jasne, super. No dużo rzeczy w interfejsie.
Okay, cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping a secret for now. I apologize. And all the way on the left is our mini-map with a kind of overhead view of where you are currently in your common room that updates as you travel through Hogwarts and beyond out into the world. And for those fans out there that aren't a huge fan of mini-maps, because we know they exist, there's also options to remove the mini-map and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
Really immerse yourself. And
we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's kind of, that's what you're seeing there. And this is our HUD.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories. Very nice bedside tables.
They are nice bedside tables.
Yeah.
The honey-colored wood was mentioned in the writing. It's part of lore.
It's part of lore. There we go. All right.
So now we're walking out into.
We really tried making these low-ceilinged dorms to give you that badger set.
Fajnie, fajnie. Właśnie te domy wyglądają świetnie. Bo już wcześniej pokazywano, wszystkie 4 domy kapitalnie wyglądają. Kapitalnie.
Go back to those common room videos we released, you'll notice the music's a little bit different, and that is entirely intentional.
A który dom wybierzecie? Pytanko, który dom wybierzecie? Piszcie. Nie, to jest super. Domy są naprawdę kapitalne.
We could spend like the entire rest of the stream just in the common room here and talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over
Design, super, naprawdę, kurczę.
All the details come from J.K. Rowling's writings.
To jest rewelacja, nie? Może to nie jest tak technicznie idealnie zrobione, bo troszkę brakuje do perfekcji, ale design super. Super.
Hufflepuff is earth, Ravenclaw is air, Gryffindor is fire, and Slytherin is water. We really leaned into that for each common room.
Wow.
So it feels earthy. We've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were. Hopefully, it should feel very familiar.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Nie, naprawdę, domy to jest coś fantastycznego. Na razie jedna z takich fajniejszych rzeczy, ale tu wszystko jest fajne, nie? Te wejścia. Te wejścia są dobre. Z tym wężem zwłaszcza, nie? Dla Zwoli.
Yeah. So these are something that we kind of interchangeably call Revelo pages or lore pages. And you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some XP for it. And you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge up in the corner. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves.
Tam też coś jest.
Continue, I'm sorry.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there. But in our game, we had to answer the question, you know, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay.
And so we have an answer to that question, and it's given to you by the staff. So there's something that we call the Wizard's Field Guide that's granted to you early on in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before you push forward a little bit, you can see in our pause menu, it's got this book theme. That's your Wizard's Field Guide, and you can see your house kind of crest
in the middle,
overlaid over it.
Okay,
right? And you
okay.
can see
Okay,
that
yes.
level as well. So that the field guide has this magical property of looking out into the world around you. And the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors have granted it to you as a late 5th year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids. And its magical property is to discover different opportunities to learn and grow all around you. So the way it works is, as you discover gameplay in the game, it actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of
On the bottom.
locked into there.
Okay.
And Andrew, if you go in there, you'll see different types of challenges that are combat challenges, quest challenges, exploration challenges, and you can see field guide pages are on there as well.
Kurde, sporo tego.
We unlocked that one field guide page.
That entire category is one of the ways that the book itself kind of fills out into the school and spills out into the school and kind of hides itself with different types of challenges and different things to do around the school that you're actually going to interact with to help you grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little secret facts and they can kind of play a little bit of a game discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone. So.
Little glimpse of the grand staircase here.
Nie, tu będzie co robić. Ojoju.
All the portraits. And I did notice the flue flame just ignite right there, which was so cool.
Sporo detali, nie? Naprawdę sporo detali.
Travel points there. House hourglasses. We had to. How much fun was it designing those and putting all those in
they're
there?
gorgeous,
but
that they're there just like in the books.
Yes.
Right next to the Great Hall.
It's a nod to lore. House points is not a core mechanic or system in the game.
We didn't turn it
narratively.
into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our narrative. And there are lots of choices where we want to nod to things that aren't necessarily gameplay systems, but we nod to them as part of the narrative.
Okej, jasne.
Right
Ale
there,
fajnie.
Andrew was teasing. That's the Great Hall over through those doors. Again, we're not going there. He's just kind of like, no.
Cool.
No, jakaś tutaj lata?
Here's another collectible page. You know, just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts that you can do and pick up and.
That's a shot straight from the trailer too. Just that part right there. I recognize that.
We might be giving you a little fan service here with callbacks to those. So.
And this must be summertime because I noticed these are the summertime windows. These windows will change with the seasons.
Yeah, the detail they put into this is kind of I get surprised.
Tak. Detale dla fanów. To będzie super.
Oh man.
Ojeju, to będzie super.
Look at that.
This is where the students would normally kind of congregate just to kind of chill out, play, meet each other outside of the Great Hall before and after meals.
Mhm.
And I love the way that when the castle interconnects to, that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of things, so you really get a sense of scope to
No, ja tutaj czuję ogrom. Naprawdę czuję, to jest dopiero kawałek.
That's a place you can go to and cross. Like everything that you see is a place that you can visit.
Wow.
We put a lot of effort in making it feel really alive. Not just with student population, but even just the greenery and stuff. It's Scotland.
Yeah.
And this castle's been here for hundreds of years, so just kind of the moss and all the trees that have overgrown it. And
Oh my god.
Nie no, na razie szacun, nie? To nie jest technicznie. Technicznie jest daleko do obecnych standardów, ale designersko i tak powiedzmy ze smakiem dla fanów, super, na razie super.
Andrew is taking us right back to
I am
that.
going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle.
Także myślę, że to już zostanie, bo tak to wygląda.
We can't give you everything, right?
Hogwarts contains a lot of secrets.
Oh my god.
But this is this grand entryway right here coming down into a really kind of central area.
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
this is a big hub of the school. Like it's a big castle, but it is designed so you shouldn't get very lost. This is kind of a grand central station.
Okej.
Each direction, it's green over there, so the greenhouse is over there.
I
Transfiguration.
sporo skrótów, nie?
Library straight ahead, so it's kind of the hub.
Oh my god.
Przystępne może to być, naprawdę, ale dużo rzeczy jest do zrobienia.
Green go that way.
Oh my god.
A lot of it will be subconscious, but it'll help you really learn.
Okej, to mi się podoba.
Like you know your way around.
Nawet bez mapy będzie można się poruszać.
To learn, all of us here still get pretty lost in it
It
on a
is a
daily
castle.
basis. It's a castle.
Great point.
Ale fajne, naprawdę. Kurde, to będzie coś pięknego.
Definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yeah.
He's got this grin on his face over there that's just like, yeah, I know what
That
I'm doing.
statue
I know
is
what I'm
from the reveal trailer.
On już zna ten zamek.
Oh my
This
gosh.
is another location where the students will gather.
Sporo interakcji, nie? Widzimy.
Just kind of chill out.
And an
And,
opportunity to talk to somebody, get a
Yeah.
quest giver here.
Is everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Mole, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
No, ale tu na przykład dialogi i animacje, no to jest
Perhaps I'm
daleko.
ready to go.
I hope you do.
Daleko.
In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them.
No, gadające głowy, niestety. To jest słaby punkt, to już widać, ale to jest zadanie poboczne, więc w fabularnych może być ta kamera inaczej prowadzona, więc no takie poboczniaki mogą być
In this case, absolutely.
tego typu.
Yeah. So
To akurat
the students
to akurat jest
kind of
słabszy
like
element,
flesh out
zdecydowanie.
opportunities around it, what we can do, and then those interactions, different interactions with different characters can also offer different choice points for the player, and then some of those things can affect things game wide. Some of these.
Okej, ale decyzje no to już jest plusik, fajnie.
The game,
Czyli poboczniaki mogą być gadające głowy w miejscu, czasami.
yes, absolutely.
Zobaczymy jak
So
fabuła.
scale really varies, but those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look at this.
Ale nie, design, ja jestem pod wrażeniem. Walka też jest fajna, jeszcze później pewnie będzie na gameplayu, ale już była kiedyś prezentowana, więc walka też jest fajna.
The richness
It
of
is
this area
very
is
iconic, very unique to anywhere else in the castle.
somebody else that we can talk to, notably a younger student.
Yeah, she looks like a first year or an 11-year-old.
Zenobia.
You're right.
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Ale dialogi fajnie, że są do wyboru.
Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoilsports, Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
Ale widać, że każdy będzie miał inną grę, nie? To już
I haven't much
100%.
interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Ona jest z Krukonów, nie? Z Ravenów.
Sounds as if you caused the smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented fifth year to help me.
Z 5. klasy.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
I love
No
that
może być
interaction
bardzo
where
dużo
there's so
questów,
many
na
ways
to
you can
wygląda.
go.
Bardzo
You
dużo
can, like,
aktywności,
you can
bardzo
feel
dużo
for her,
questów.
You can be a jerk to her, you can be like, gosh, sounds awful.
Ale
Sounds like
wybory
you're just
jak
mean.
najbardziej.
Like,
Tutaj w tej grze myślę, że pod każdym względem będą
they continue.
ważne. Natomiast no może przytłoczyć później ten ogrom, nie? Ciekawe, czy fabuła się nie rozmyje, ale zobaczymy.
Yeah. Gobstones is one of the things that is not playable in the game. I know we've had to band-aid off on a few things. Honestly, it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this like speak to us as fans and that we want to turn into games.
No tak, bo nie będzie Quidditcha, nie? Też.
Make over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket, just kind of for the overall health
Wizard's
of the thing.
chess.
Those are things that aren't featured.
Yeah. They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they're mentioned. They're a part of the wizarding world.
Every single time
Part of
there was something that
students'
we regretted because we couldn't include it. We also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, you know, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
Mhm.
And I know here too, we're like,
I was like, we're
No nie, no fajnie, ten świat na pewno pochłania, ale parę takich bolączek może jest, ale ogólnie to myślę, że dla fanów to różowe okulary, nie? Jak takie coś się dostaje po, nie wiem, po 20 latach, 30.
Yeah, so ultimately decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day and you know, that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative. Each chapter of which has a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke kind of events and moments in those missions. And then there are also additional opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions essentially, where you can learn.
No nie, no to misje będzie trzeba robić, zdecydowanie poboczne.
Also get to know the professors better.
And I just want to call out something that Andrew's been kind of showing off, ways to kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world. And, you know, maybe down there he's sipping some tea with the...
No tak, takich smaczków.
High society.
High society.
And it's no wonder you like this area because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherins.
Well, like, speaking of lived in, like, the sound effects again, the chatter of the communication that's happening and the footsteps, like...
Są nawet takie klipy samego otoczenia, można sobie posłuchać na tubie.
Love that. The data tower was one example, but no two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player.
Right.
Okej, no tak, żeby to było charakterystyczne, nie?
That's a little nod from the Marauders.
Bo jak to się zleje, to się będziemy gubić.
Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality and
No to jest ciekawe, w takim jednym zamku też będzie można wyjść na zewnątrz, troszkę będzie tutaj swobody, ale właśnie to jest ciekawe, nie? W takim jednym zamku wszystko. Nie w gigantycznym, otwartym świecie, tylko skondensowanym, ale też sporym.
Yeah. Speaking of characters...
Speaking of magic, Mr. Magic himself.
I feature Poltergeist too.
You know, we talked about building on lore too. I know there's that statue over to the side. That's
Do you know who that is?
Lachlan the Lanky,
Yeah,
and he's got his Bowtruckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another Revelio page there.
Yeah, there's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat
Czy jak
lady.
troszkę się mieni, to już tam jest.
That's right.
Fajne.
Third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the portraits have kind of taken it over, and so the sound makes it really unique.
Nie, tutaj na świat naprawdę sporo zasobów. Fajnie.
What we've shown so far has not had enough owls. Okay, so here we are at the owlry. We're looking directly at the owlry to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of owls at the
Sowy w grach.
I love the
the
fog
owls.
rolling down that.
Great callback. Great call.
No, I also love that as I one of my favorite things about just kind of going around on the outside of the school is that all those things that I see are places that I can go to.
Okej, dobrze.
Knowing that is real.
That lovely Scottish countryside.
We're kind of closing out our
No, czasami są jeszcze dropy, ale to do ogarnięcia.
Of this enormous castle, but we're closing it out here in the clock tower. So another recognizable location, but this is where Crossed Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling club is that the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Lucan Brattleby here.
Who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure.
Okej, zobaczmy walkę.
The dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really in the game this is going to be
Tak. Pierwsza walka w trakcie rozgrywki. Zobaczmy.
For me personally, this was where the game like really starts to open up to the possibilities.
Yeah.
Okej.
So we've set up a training dummy, and this is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now,
Dobra, to jest taki samouczek.
The Accio spell followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There are certain spells that the wizards kind of like use just kind of fling.
Dobre są, dobre. Animacje są dobre tego ataku.
Trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might see.
No właśnie.
So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands.
Tak, czyli tak jak w Asasynie tutaj.
And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped.
Tutaj widzicie.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature
No i
of the
super.
wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting
Kurde,
spells,
bardzo fajne
just to make
animacje
sure that
są.
you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again.
Right.
You can see cooldowns
Okay.
on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then
No
as
i
you
czas
progress,
odnowienia, nie?
different things that can affect things like cooldowns through your talents.
Fajne,
things that allow you
bardzo
to kind of
fajne.
like juggle and adjust and update those things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them. And that's how you access all those.
Oh man.
No,
Worry about these
fajne.
guys over here.
Yeah. So this is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together.
Nie, walka zapowiada się naprawdę ciekawie.
Yeah.
No i te animacje, nie? Mi się podobają.
Awesome.
Well done, Andy.
Fajne.
That's just against the dummy, but I mean.
No i mamy różne kombinacje, więc nie powinno się jakoś tam nudzić.
You look
Super.
clear there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's going to shoot back.
Now let's talk about some more features of the combat system.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
No animacje słabe, nie? To wiadomo, widzimy. Spoko.
Pause the action
Yeah.
and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there is about to be a lot going on.
Okay.
Dobra, fajnie.
All right, here you can select if you want to fight with somebody else, some of
One
your
of the other
classmates.
students.
But in
Sebastian.
this case, we're not. We want that action to feel a little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
So
Ready to
apparently
get
you've
thrashed?
got quite the reputation because they've got you up against 3 people.
3, yeah.
Eh,
Off the jump.
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. You're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too. And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell.
Dobra.
So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters.
Kurczę.
And you also notice that your spells
Tak, i musimy odpowiednie zaklęcie kolorystyczne dawać.
The function of their spells, we kind of put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are
A tu będzie odbijało.
control spells. And so those things for the player, they wind up also
Oczywiście jak mają tą zasłonę, nie?
which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying.
Wow, fajne, fajne. No i super, nie? Nie będziemy cały czas jednego przycisku dawać.
Each of the different shields to kind of give us a breakdown of what's
Give us a
going
breakdown
on.
of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health. And so, you know, as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming.
Dobra, czyli
If you see
tamten.
the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then that you'll be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with your Protego.
And I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns.
Tak,
the enemy.
tak, tak.
And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, you know, and,
Takie kontry to ja rozumiem.
and someone else attacks you, you can actually.
O, nie musimy tylko zaklęcie, możemy przedmiotami.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna.
Ale dosyć szybki cooldown jest. To fajne. Bardzo szybki cooldown. Kurczę. O, eliksir?
We really felt like in the movies, there's almost like a.
Nie, mega, mega. Bardzo fajne. Bardzo fajne.
It's kind of like a. There's this element of kind of like fencing from a very great distance.
That's such a good call.
And there are a lot of
Bardzo fajne.
a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of capitalize on that idea that's pretty unique to the Wizarding world.
Understandable.
Yes. Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last
No tutaj wiadomo, szlify są potrzebne, ale tych animacji już pewnie nie poprawią, nie? Więc to już takie PS3 zostanie.
I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then.
Okej. Ale zdecydowanie klimatem, rozgrywką, fabułą i całym światem to będą tutaj nadrabiać. Oj, będą. Perfekcyjnie na pewno nie jest, ale dla fanów miodzio. Miodzio.
But we didn't want to leave you without maybe a little taste of something that we're
O, będą kolejne.
may show next time. You know, so leaving the castle, going out here.
Tak, bo możemy wyjść. Czyli będą kolejne streamy, tak? Bardzo fajnie. Chcielibyście oglądać następne prezentacje? Dajcie znaka.
Yes, all of the owls. But yeah, just heading out here again to show you like from Hogwarts to the world beyond Hogwarts.
Wow.
And this is not somewhere
No
where
spore
we're going
połacie.
today, but we will definitely be taking you in the future.
Okej. No to czekamy. Dajcie znaka, czy chcielibyście kolejne prezentacje też w taki sposób obejrzeć razem. No i oczywiście piszcie wasze wrażenia.
A few other questions here at the end of things. So while we're done with what we're showing on the gameplay side, I know there's a few things that you want to pick Alan and Boston's brains about.
I would love that because there's a lot. Let me grab it. All right, so some of these questions we did pull from the community secretly, but I did pull from the community. So,
and also from, I mean, going through this, I
Based
feel like
off
you've come up with some things you want to talk a little more about. I'm sure.
Elaborate on, because we went through character customization, Hogwarts itself, and even combat. So this would be like for the both of you guys. Will we be able to go back and change our
Ciekawe, no, właśnie.
So not everything, but there are certain things with hairstyle, hair color.
Czyli twarzy nie.
Kind of like core shapes,
Okay.
you know, like with the body and face, not after the fact.
Okay.
But there are lots of things. There's kind of like a barber shop in Hogsmeade that you can go to.
No jasne, twarz zostaje.
Yeah.
You could change your hair color for holidays or something, right?
Oh my
Pewnie.
gosh, that would be so cool.
And the game features a lot of appearance customization in it. So there's a
Okularki.
ton of options there. But that's in terms of like your character and stuff that you have, the character creator. It's like a smaller set of what you saw there.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Awesome. Next question. What kind of leisurely activity can we do? Can we study with our free time? I mean, what will we be doing just hanging out in Hogwarts?
Because as you progress through the game, there's a bunch of different missions that open up. Most of them are driven by different characters' personalities. You know, some of them want help getting up to hijinks, or they
No
want,
pewnie
some of
zupełnie
them want
inne
to
będziemy
explore
mieli w
secrets
danej
in the
szkole,
castle,
nie?
Because there are new secrets in our
W danym
castle
domu.
to explore. And so, so I think there's a bunch of things to do. And when it comes to class, as I mentioned earlier, it's not just kind of like the mainline stuff. There are kind of like extracurricular assignments, some of which are optional, some of which are kind of like blockers for main mission. Kind of like you can't go on this mission until you have the spell. And then the spell is open, you know, the assignment and how you complete it with your professor. And so there are opportunities to study, so to speak, like with that. But they do all take the form of our mission structure.
Nie, no ciekawe ogólnie.
Wow.
Na razie wygląda to mega interesująco dla mnie.
Do spells have different levels or are they all equal?
Do spells have different levels or are they all equal? I'm trying to think of how to describe that. So each spell has kind of like its own core identity and what it does in the game with regards to both kind of like puzzling, world exploration, and enemy combat and all that kind of stuff. And then it's through the talent system. Right? When you go into that, it's kind of like each of those spells has ways to kind of
O, no to fajnie.
And as you spend talents, in some cases it even changes like the way you approach the battlefield.
Kurde, to tyle tam 20 zaklęć i jeszcze to rozwijać.
That's no more
Masakra.
true than with like dark arts, for example. And as you go down that line and you kind of play around with those talents, it really does start to kind of like affect even how you approach combat and how you think about it.
No pewnie. Ale nie będą mieli to zamknięte, nie?
The dark art stuff, but I know many of you guys will be.
Maybe on your second playthrough?
Yeah, second playthrough, yes.
Okay.
Dark.
No oczywiście.
Hashtag soon. I want to close off with this question, and this will be for everybody, and we'll start with Boston. With this game that you guys have been working on for however long, and the excitement you guys have, what's one aspect of Hogwarts Legacy that you are excited for the fans to experience? Boston.
I think I'm just excited for the fans to play through the world, specifically the castle, and maybe go read those books again.
Nie, to na pewno.
Either whether you're already
Filmy.
a fan and you know love this
Ja
game,
chyba też
or
sobie
this is your
przypomnę
first
przed.
introduction into the world. I hope they just point at each other in the best way possible, and I'm just excited for fans to get to finally go to Hogwarts.
Nie, dla tego uniwersum naprawdę. Kurczę, nie było takiej gry, nie?
I've lived there for 5 years. It's a great place to live. Official 5th year.
It's really funny because I want to give a different answer and I will, but I actually feel like the most honest answer is really similar, because my favorite thing when running around, playing the game, and getting to know Hogwarts the way Boston knows it, because she knows the school and the lore better than I do, and thank God, right? Because you want the person architecting it to really know that. But when I rewatch the films or I'm rereading passages from the books, there's a different relationship to those things having played them.
Okej, fajnie.
So it's really looking over the edge and seeing location. I'm like, oh my God, I'm right there. And in the movie saying, I know what's around that corner in the film. Like if you go down this way, there's actually a thing over here and there's this person over here and this thing happened. And it just adds all this richness to everything that you already love.
And that's
No tak, bo mają kolejne źródło, nie? No właśnie. To jest najlepsze w grach, że my to odgrywamy. Super. No zawsze będzie przewaga nad filmem.
Just being like, okay, I can just
I can go there.
That vantage point,
there's just something exhilarating about it that feels very different in that kind of open air and on that thing. it's kind of incredible. Yeah.
And wrapping it up, you know, for me, it's just bringing the community together with it and sharing those stories, because it is your story, and you are going to be writing, you know, this is your
Nie, naprawdę fajne.
experience
Fajnie, że
within
są
this, and
tacy
even
ludzie
within the things
z
that are
pasją
the
jeszcze,
same,
którzy robią te
your
gry, a nie
experience
tylko
is different from mine, is different from
mobilki i
we're all approaching it from
mikrotransakcje, nie?
I think that's going to be really
Jest
cool the way
nieźle.
that everybody brings those things together. All right, and that's everything that we have to show you today. I know maybe it wasn't everything you wanted to see, but there's a whole lot of stuff. Character creator.
Jest dobrze. Czekamy na kolejny.
Tour of Hogwarts there, just a small part of it, a little bit of combat, and we do have some more stuff coming up for you in the future.
Super.
Hogwarts Legacy releases on February 10th, 2023, and is available for pre-order now. But that's going to do it from us. We're going to leave you with a little something else, but for now, bye.
Bye.
Dziękujemy, bardzo fajny streamek, bardzo fajny. 7 z tego co wiem jest ta wcześniejsza wersja, a 10 oficjalna premiera. No to napiszcie, który dom wybieracie i czy zagracie. I widzimy się następnym razem. Myślę, że jeszcze przed premierą. Do zobaczenia. Hej, hej, hej. Dzięki za oglądanie tego odcinka, a teraz koniecznie zobaczę kolejny film na kanale i do zobaczenia. Hej, hej, hej.